What is up, everybody? It's Joe from JLW Games, coming at you with another cool video back in Planet Coaster in Westwood, of course, and we are in episode 39 now, and we are going to be focusing on the final details of the Invention Company. So, how awesome is that? So, the Invention Company, of course, is, where the inventions are, exactly, for the park. And everything like that. So anyways, a lot of people have been, these episodes have been nothing but fence placing, and you'd probably be pretty much correct. Yes, so the final details mostly consist of a little bit of trees, bushes, and some fences, of course. And that's pretty much the main thing here. There's not a whole lot adding in on these areas because they're pretty much done. They just needed some final details, like the episode is doing now, which was kind of like lighting, different areas that needed lights, and then also, of course, fences, and of course more trees and bushes that Joe always loves to add as much as possible throughout everything. So anyways, so officially the next episode will be the last episode of Westwood, but never fear, of course, there's going to be plenty of videos on Westwood for many time, probably many years down the road. So I don't want anyone to be upset or be scared that they'll never see this park again. Now again, the park is available on the Steam Workshop already, the finished product, so everything you're seeing is already done. So the park is already finished. Like I said, if you didn't hear the last episode me say that, but the park is already completed, and you can download in the description if you want to check the park out for yourself. There's going to be a lot of fun videos and things like that for the grand opening, and I'm going to be updating the park a lot. So if there's anything I missed, I'll work on it and actually fix anything that I forgot or maybe didn't get in the video or any during the building phase of the of Westwood. So I'm constantly going to be updating the park and making it better as time goes along. So that's something to look forward to, especially if you want to download it. Make sure you keep the park updated because I will be updating it throughout time. So there's another thing I wanted to do, and that is create another kind of like teaser video for the grand opening of the park that will actually have the date of the park opening. So I actually have the actual date of the grand opening of Westwood, and you won't probably want to miss that because it's going to be spectacular, and I have a lot of fun. I have a fun idea of how that's going to work. I think I already mentioned it of what I was going to do for the grand opening of Westwood, but that would be cool. So we're going to have the grand opening, and of course you're going to have the cinematic video and all that jazz. So I know these last couple episodes are probably pretty boring, and it's not a very spectacular ending to the series, but again, we're going to be getting into some bigger and greater things down the road, so nothing to worry about. All these fences, of course, is just to keep the guests away from, going into some restricted areas, to make sure that they're not going in any spots that they're not supposed to be, and that's the main thing here is I wanted to use these new metal fences that was in the new update because I thought they looked pretty good. So I actually thought they would fit well in the Invention Company as well, because the Invention Company is kind of like a westerny sci-fi theme, kind of, if that makes sense. So it's kind of an interesting kind of theme around here, and I couldn't tell you how many times when I was placing all these fences, how many times I heard the Cosmic Cow coming around or the Tiki Chicky mascot. As you can see, there's a Cosmic Cow again, but they just kept following me when I was placing fences. They would not leave me alone. The Cosmic Cow here literally would not leave me alone. Yeah, she was just like everywhere. Now, as for some of your questions, I've had people like, did you get my name in the staff? And I should have. I'm pretty sure I have. So if I missed anybody, I'm very surprised if I did, because I went through every comment that I could see. And if I missed something, YouTube's just being dumb because I probably didn't see it, if that is the case. So anyways, if you download the park and you requested your name to be as one of the theme park workers, one of the workers, and it's not there, then you can probably blame YouTube, or either that, or I completely missed it. One of the two. I don't know. I don't really have many openings left at this point because I used the comments pretty much to fill in the rest of the staff. We do have security guards now. I don't remember if I mentioned that in the last episode, but there are security guards in the in Westwood now. So also some security cameras at the same time. So that's kind of fun as well. So I was very satisfied of how the flat rides pretty much turned out. They looked pretty good, and excuse me, sorry. Anyways, I'm very excited for the coming days, or just for the next park, because I'm planning out the next park. I've gotten a lot of people already talking about it in the comments section. A lot of people are saying sci-fi. A lot of people saying more of a generic with more of an amusement park rather than a theme park. Just a lot of different things that you guys have been talking about, and I'm very excited for the next project because I've been planning it a little bit and getting ready, and it will probably start up as soon as Westwood kind of, gets taken off and everything. It will probably get started almost right away. So over here I wanted to do the sign for the B&M floorless coaster, which is going to be fun. I tried to make my own custom lettering. That didn't work out. I'm not very good at doing that, and I tried, but it just was not turning out. So I do end up using the signs, but the kind of signs I did use actually turned out pretty cool. So I was actually pretty satisfied of how it turned out. I would kind of wish we had like letters that were not on a sign, but just like letters by themselves. The letters are the sign. So I kind of wish we had something like that. Maybe someday down the line would be kind of neat. So instead of trying to use the shapes, and since we don't have big enough shapes, the shapes are pretty small, are pretty large at this point. I wish they would put some larger or smaller, I keep getting it backwards. I wish they would put in some smaller shapes for the shapes and stuff. And I've seen a lot of people talk about that, and they need to have some smaller objects in there. It'll make things just a little bit easier. Now I decided to go with these kind of signs and just put like a letter on each one. Makes it a nice big sign. It actually turned out pretty nice, actually. So as you can see the reveal of the name of the B&M floorless coaster is Nova Luna, and it's kind of an interesting name for the ride, and it was very unique. Sapphire Jess actually helped me come up with this name, and it was kind of an interesting name to come up with, because we were sitting here probably for 30 minutes to an hour trying to figure out the name for this thing. And there's actually a scientist behind all these inventions, and his name is Dr. Strany, and that I believe is actually Russian for Doctor Strange, because just a little Easter egg in there. I thought that was funny. So Dr. Strany is looking for some test riders for his new invention, which he calls the Nova Luna, which is like this flying contraption to help transport people around the area. And it's kind of a crazy invention, and it doesn't get passed. So this is the point where he's looking for some test riders, some brave test riders for Nova Luna, which is the name of his beloved late wife, I guess. Sapphire Jess actually came up with that part of the storyline, I guess. So he named it after his wife, Nova Luna. I think that's a very interesting name, but so Dr. Strany's Nova Luna is coming near you. So I thought it was a pretty neat sign. It has a kind of a mixture of kind of like that sci-fi with also a westerny feel, because the billboard kind of looks a little westerny, but then again the words and everything kind of look a little bit futuristic and kind of sci-fi-ish, and that's kind of the idea of this section of the park, is to have kind of like a westerny sci-fi feel to it. So a lot of you guys want me to do a sci-fi park, and I'm going to be honest, I probably won't do that just yet because I'm not very good at sci-fi. I'm not the greatest at sci-fi. theme. So I'm not saying eventually I will not do it, but I'm not saying it's not going to happen eventually. But it's just kind of for the next park, probably not. It's not something I'm going to do right off the bat fairly soon, because I kind of want to get at least practice the sci-fi feel a little bit more. But I can tell you the next park is going to be pretty detailed, and that's even more detailed than as you're seeing here in Westwood, and it's going to be quite interesting because I've committed to something I'm going to do for it. That I think will help it in the long run, and it's going to really make the park just a little bit better, and the pacing just a lot better as well than how I created Westwood. So again, I feel like I've become a very much better builder overall when it comes to building buildings and actually detailing stuff. So I'll be able to implement a lot of the 1.2 update as well. So that will be something that will help out a lot as well. So I'm very excited for that. And then of course over here I wanted to create a sign for all the rides as well. So as for the little top spin here, or the overpower as it's called in game, I wanted to make another Dr. Strani invention, and this is his power flip. He also creates some interesting inventions just for entertainment sometimes as well. And this would be one of those. So especially with his Dr. Strani's super swing as well, which is the SNS Scream and Swing that you'll see later on. So that's going to be another invention by Dr. Strani. He's the main scientist in the Invention Company. So that's what they called it, the Invention Company, of course. And they're pretty much going to invent all these awesome contraptions. So with, of course, no collisions now, I wanted to try and create some effects in some of these rides to make them look a little bit more unique. I thought you could actually add these special effects before collisions were disabled, but I'm not entirely sure. But anyways, we're going to be doing it anyways for kind of like a watery effect, and that way you kind of get a little wet on this ride. Because let's be honest, we don't have a lot of water rides in the park with Raging River and then, of course, Rattlesnake Falls. Rattlesnake Falls, of course, is the log flume, and Raging River is the rapids ride, the kind of the river rapids ride. So, obviously. But, again, I have already been working on the 5-year plan for Westwood, so just keep that in mind. And then, of course, I'm going to be updating Westwood throughout time. So if you do install or download the file, make sure you're coming back and updating that quite often, because there will be updates and you're not going to want to miss them, because if there's ever construction going on, I will update the update the park with the construction going on. So you could spot some like land clearing going on, or different things like that, and then you guys can start speculating what it's going to be. So there's going to be different fun little things like that I think you guys are going to get excited for, and I'm going to keep the park updated. We'll have our coaster enthusiast Tony, or we'll get it. I haven't revealed his name. I'm going to reveal his name later. But our coaster enthusiast is going to go around and actually check that out as well on the channel. So keep in mind, Westwood could be adding some new attractions or different things down the line. So always keep that in mind, and keep your park updated because I'm going to be updating it quite often, and trying to improve the park as much as I can as well throughout time at the same time, because I want to support this park for quite a long time. So here we go over here into Dr. Strani's super swing, which is absolutely awesome. I love these things. They're really, really fun. I love the SNS Scream and Swings. They're just really, really cool. So I'm very excited to have one in the park because it's awesome. And yeah, I just kind of plopped this swing down earlier in the earlier episodes, and it deserved a little bit more little more love. So we had to put like this, at least put the sign here that went within the Dr. Strani. Of course, has to be the same color and everything. Because it's his super swing, and he's very proud of it as well. So, of course, some bushes and stuff around there, because it makes it just a little bit better, because it fills in those empty little gaps and everything. So now with no collision, I can really much put anything, anywhere I want when it comes to placing stuff next to rides and everything like that. It's very nice. Or if I wanted to place like a building on some of the rides or something like that, just for extra theming aspects of everything, it's just quite nice, and it works very, very cool and nice. I keep saying the word nice like a cajillion times. I apologize, but it's just very nice. But anyways, so what we're going to be doing in the next episode, after of course we finish the Invention Company here, it's mainly me going through the rest of the park and trying to add anything that I may have missed or anything like that, and just pretty much finishing the park. So there's going to be just a couple of different things to still do, and one of those things I think I start off with is actually finishing the parking lot area over by the upper level parking lot. I just wanted to put a little parking lot in here. It's not huge, it's just like if there was a front part of the parking lot, kind of like priority parking almost, it's going to be right there. Excuse me. And I've been meaning to finish these fences forever, and they've been kind of a pain in the butt because I kind of made them kind of awkwardly, so they didn't really turn out the greatest. I mean, they turned out great, but they didn't turn out great when as for placing or duplicating them and placing them in other areas of the queue line. So that kind of sucked a little bit, because we're going to get rid of the the actual railings and curbs on the queue line here, so it has just the custom the custom fencing and the queue line and everything. It's going to be really, really neat. So it's going to be really nice, and I hope everyone will I hope these queue lines fill up quite a bit. So that's going to be my goal, because the rides are going to be free, and there's going to be an entrance fee for the front entrance. So that's how most parks do it. So I want to make sure this park is no exception, and that it also puts that in perspective as well. So it's going to be doing that at the same time. So it's going to be pretty nice. So we're getting close to finishing up the fences over here. And it was a little bit of a pain, but we got through it, and I knew I had to finish it because we're finishing up the park. So there's just little things like that I kind of held off, and that's what you're going to be seeing here in these episodes. It's pretty much the boring stuff that I was too lazy to do earlier in the previous episodes, and you'll see in the next series that I'm going to try and avoid that. I'm going to try, what I'm going to be doing is work on each section and pretty much finish everything before I move on to the next section. I think it's a better idea to get stuff done, and I think it'll make the park overall look a little bit better if I do that, all that detailing at once. Otherwise, I'm just going to be like, it's good enough. And I feel like I did that a couple of times with Westwood, maybe, and that's why I kind of want to keep it updated and still kind of work on it as I go along, even though, the park, I'm officially calling the park completed after the next episode. I still want to kind of, keep it updated and still work on it a bit for stuff I may have still missed, because there's always going to be areas you might have missed and different things like that. So we're finishing up the fencing over here. I do believe we get all the fencing done for the park in this episode, so that's a nice thing to note. And I just mainly used the new fences from the new update, so that kind of helped out a lot, because instead of using the custom fences, it was just a little bit quicker to use these wooden fences anyways. Plus, I love these fences. I think they work very well for what they do. So. And so a lot of the new fences are recolorable as well, so that's gonna help you create some new kind of, make them look a little bit more unique anyways. So that's that, and I believe I get actually work on the theater as well, because it was just looking a little bit kind of blank, of course, and I didn't put any details on there, and I think I actually work on the inside a little bit as well. I'm pretty sure I did in this episode. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I detailed it here. So we detail the theater, Westwood Theater, which is towards the entrance of the park. I thought it was a good location for it, and it's not technically in the Invention company. It's technically kind of in its own little area, and I knew the place had to have at least one theater, and I thought this would work quite nicely, and I just wanted to decorate the front just a little bit. I'm going to keep the back, blank, because most theaters don't really have any windows on the sides or anything. This is more of a just kind of to make it look good, and just so it looks pretty nice and detailed a little bit. It's not super highly detailed, but it's detailed a little bit to get you going, saying, okay, it's a theater that looks really neat and kind of awesome. So there's the windows, and I just put some awnings over them, and I added a little bit of trimming to the building, and it looks pretty good. So but again, if you are downloading the park, be sure to keep it updated at all times. So if there's a new update for it, make sure you download that update and keep the park updated. That way you can kind of get a sneak peek of maybe, some new things happening around and everything like that. So I'm going to fast forward to the park all the way to year 17. I think it's a little bit makes sense for the grand opening. That way the park opens in year 17, or 2017 as I like to think of it as. So I think it's just kind of a cool, neat thing to have it open, as the same year. So I get this nice big sign. I always thought it was a nice theater sign, so I always thought it would be great to use it for that. So and just put a sign under it saying, of course, theater. So the Westwood Theater, nice and complete, looks good on the outside anyways. And then, of course, the inside, I just want to put a little bit on the stage, so I decided to put the pirate band, just because that's like the only thing we really have that would work, unless I put like a ton of animatronics and just threw some music around there. So I want to put a couple of facades on the stage as well, just for fun. And I just used some blueprints just for interested, because it's interior, and I'm not going to be focused too much on interior. And then, of course, I wanted to add some park benches, make them look a little bit like a theater kind of, and then add some lights to really finish it off and make it look more like a like a theater on the inside. So look like you're actually watching a show or listening to some music and a performance from a pirate band, course, because that's the only thing we have really right now. So anyways, it'd be cool if they actually implemented some real theaters in the game. I don't know if they would ever do something like that, but real theaters would be kind of cool, kind of a neat little aspect to have in the game. So I just put some benches down around, and I think it would be kind of cool. It's kind of cool. So as for the grand opening, I'm thinking about putting it in the entrance. I was really debating whether I should have the grand opening here in the theater or actually at the front entrance, and I've decided on the front entrance because I think it makes more sense right before people go into the park. And again, I'm going to get the green screen and everything. It's going to be very cheesy, but it's going to be really, really a little bit of fun. And to do the grand opening, I'm going to get a podium, some sort of podium and stuff like that, get the Westwood logo. It's going to be kind of neat, and I'll actually need to do that here pretty soon. So anyways, I hope you guys are excited as I am for the final product. And if you haven't checked it out already, link in the description if you want to go download Westwood. So that's the final product. It's already, because I've already recorded everything and the park is complete. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you like and comment and subscribe for more content like this, and have a great day and an even cooler tomorrow. And I'll catch you guys next time. Thank you guys so much, and goodbye.